All right. Most of you already know how hated the Wolverine was before his battle with the police and put in jail. Before that, imagine how many people hate me now after being in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's real. Even John the Baptist is looking at me strange. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's a rebel. That's right, John the Baptist. I'm the number one rebel. See that messy hair? No combing the hair. Rebel. Rebel. So back up, John the Baptist. Quit looking at me like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll name this video. Maybe. Quit judging me, John the Baptist. But anyways. But yeah, like everybody kind of turns on you, even more so. Their hate for you increases in the Christian community. What? You're hated by Christians and you're trying to walk a Christian walk? Yeah, even Christians hate the new Christian. Yours truly, you know. It's like I'm in the Mormon church again. The Mormons hated me fiercely. So do the Christians. I'm like, what's the difference? What's the difference between the Christians and the Mormons? Nothing. They both hate me the same. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, he went in jail? Oh, stay away. Stay away. He was in jail. Stay away. Keep him away from the children. He's been in jail. I don't want to be near your children. God forbid. You know, little devils. You know what I mean? You take care of those things. You take care of those children. There's a reason why the Wolverine has no children. You take care of those little hellions. You know, I don't want to be near your children anyway. So it's like get me out of jail free card. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I guess I can't volunteer to help this church with this because I was in jail. Sorry, it gets me out of work. You know, it gets me out of volunteering. Like, nope, he can't volunteer. He was in jail. You know, it's already happened. Like, he was in jail. He can't volunteer. Well, thank you, Lord. No, I don't have to help this church at all. Thank you. It's a get out of work free card. Being in jail, it is. Like, ask him to volunteer. Ask him to do free work. I've been in jail. Never mind. Don't ask him to help us. Don't ask him to help us. He's been in jail. Thank you. See you later. Don't judge. Don't judge. Paul was in jail. That's what I told him. Like, Paul was in jail. Quit judging me. The great Paul, that, you know, the Saul Paul, that everyone says is so great in the Christian community, which he is pretty great. He's pretty awesome. Next to Jesus, he's a legend. Paul was a legend next to Jesus, and he was in jail. He was in jail so many times, prison so many times. I'm like, he was in jail. Why are you judging me? He was, you know, what's the deal? You know, why the hate towards me and not, you know, not towards Paul? You know, just because he was back in the day, you know, way back in the day, and I'm not back in the day. You know, what the heck? You know, that's not discrimination. I want to see the same hate towards Paul than towards me, you know what I mean? You know, but oh well. I'm like, don't judge. Paul went in jail. Paul was in jail too, and you're like, praise Paul. You know, so screw you, Christian. You know, and sometimes it's kind of hurtful, you know what I mean? I've been seen as the bad guy my whole life, you know? No matter what I do, I'm seen as the bad guy. I'm like, whatever. I was seen as the bad guy as a kid. I was seen as the bad guy since forever, you know what I mean? Maybe rightfully so, you know what I'm saying? Since I was 11 years old, at least, since I was 11 years old, maybe even younger, adults all around me were afraid of me. I'm not kidding, without doing much. I'm like, I just said, all I have to do is just say the B word, not what you're thinking, but the bomb word. If I said that as a kid, they're like, you know, detain him. I'm like, I'm just kidding. I just said the B word. I just said bomb in the airport. Don't have a cow about it. It's just words, you know. That's how fearful they are of me. I'm like, I just said the bomb word, you know. It's just like Mario Kart. They say bomb in the Mario Kart game. You know, what's the difference? Why so scared? You know, I play Mario Kart and I shoot a bomb, you know. Lay a bomb for the opponent to hit, you know. I'm like, what's the big deal, you know? But everyone has a cow when I say the word bomb. Like, detain him. He's 8 years old and he's saying bomb in an airport. So ever since then, I'm like, people are afraid of me no matter what I say. You just have to say the right thing. They're afraid of me, yeah. But yeah. So, but anyways, don't judge. Don't judge. You know, a book by its cover. I know I look bad. I know I seem bad, and sometimes I am bad, but don't judge, you know. I'm tired of that, you know what I mean? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of all the prejudice against the Wolverine all these years, you know what I'm saying? Being put in jail for no reason, and then getting, you know, it's been like this since, forever. And I'm just like, God's not going to do anything, so I'm going to get revenge myself. And so far, God's allowed me to, you know, set up revenge, you know. He's allowed it. I'm like, okay. God's had enough of them too. You know what I mean? Because we played this game before. I'm like, God's not going to do anything for justice. God's not going to give me justice. God's not going to give Victor justice. You kidding me? You kidding me? He hasn't given me justice since what happened to me when I was a kid. God's not going to give us justice. I got to do the justice, you know. I got to, you know, make people disappear one by one in authority. That's what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just don't learn. They don't learn their lessons. So I'm like, okay. They'll start to learn when they start disappearing. You know what I mean? They're like, where'd that guy go? Did he shoot Victor? Yeah. Oh, maybe someone got to him. Maybe someone got him. Maybe so. Maybe so. You know what I mean? Vengeance is Johnny's. The Bible says, I think it says that now. The vengeance is Johnny's. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the mantle for vengeance. Vengeance is what I do best. Vengeance is what the Wolverine does best, and everybody knows it. So I'm doing what I do best, and God knows it. God made me this way. God made me this way to know vengeance, you know. Best served cold and quick. And Joe, send them to hell quickly. That's vengeance to me, you know. But anyway, not about that scary talk. That's reality. Whew. Tired of being judged by Christians, you know what I'm saying? We're not all bad, you know what I'm saying? Did I see you stand up for the kid? No, I did. Did I see Jesus stand up for the kid? No, I did. That's what I thought. Wolverine's the only one with guts in this world. And he already knew that. That's why he's fighting this whole Revolutionary War himself. The Second Revolutionary War is being fought by Wolverine all the way by himself. People may fight the war with me for a second, but long term, it's just Wolverine because he's the only one that's not afraid. If everyone's afraid of, the gigantic, the sophisticated, monumental U.S. military, we can't go up against that. You know what I'm saying? I hear that all the time. You can't beat them. I'll beat them. Okay. You know what I mean? If I can beat the FBI with, like, no problem. I can beat the military, no problem. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bomb this city away. Try to guess that where I'm at and bomb me. You know what I'm saying? We're like, he has to be in this 50-mile radius with all these people. We gotta bomb it, you know, to get him. That's what they're gonna have to do to get me. Oh well. Bring it on. Bring it on, Air Force. Bring it on, Air Force One. Bring it on the bombs. Bring them on. 'Cause that's what you do best. Bomb first, ask questions later. Bomb first, ask questions later. The American way, the American dream. That doesn't exist. They have to be asleep to believe the American dream. That doesn't exist. The real American dream is police shooting kids. Police, that's the real American dream that's happening. Some of us figure that out. Will happen again at the third protest coming up tomorrow. Second insurrection against the USA. There's going to be some beating. There's going to be some beatings, either by the police on us or we on the police, because it's legal to beat the police up now. Since they fought dirty, there's no rules. All the laws are, when you declare your independence, there's no laws anymore. You know what I mean? Because you're at war. You're at war with the country, so their laws don't apply to you anymore. So you can beat up their police, no problem. Like, all they can do is say, no. Bring it on. Anyways, that's all I want to say for this video. Just quit judging. Quit judging. Things you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're so righteous. We would have stood up for a kid that got shot down our street and murdered by police. We would have stood up. Yeah, you wouldn't have. The only one standing up for him is me. I'm the only one. I'm like standing up for him even more than his family is. It's no joke, and everyone knows it. Wolverine walks the walk, not you. Johnny walks the walk. I got the court trial paper to prove it. They put me. I walk the walk. Not talk the talk. Just like Paul from the Bible, he walked the walk. So why? You know what I'm saying? People are figuring that out. The people are figuring that out as the Donald's just talking about Bitcoin. I'm walking the walk. In my mind, I'm like, if he's still talking about Bitcoin, we've already won this war. If the Donald just talks about Bitcoin for 3 more years straight and that's it, we've won this war. You know what I mean? No wonder I tricked the FBI so easily. They're thinking about Bitcoin. I'm like, this is easy. Piece of cake. But the CIA guy was pretty good. The CIA guy was pretty good. That one CIA guy that was following me around, he had skills. He was legit. You know what I'm saying? He was legit. You know what I'm saying? I admit it. He had some skills. He did. He had some tracking skills. He did. He was legit. I'm like, man, they're sending that CIA. They're sending CIA Treadstone guys from like the Born Supremacy after me. I'm not kidding. This guy was decent. I'm like, man. So bring it on. Bring it on. We'll fight them hand-to-hand combat. Claw-to-claw combat. I will. Everyone knows it. Bring it on. Bring on your best Treadstone assassin. Bring it on. I'll fight him in the streets head on. For all to see. If I was willing to fight Jesus in an arena long ago, I was so mad at Jesus, I was going to fight him in front of everybody in a gladiator arena. One-on-one. Their hero, Mr. Jesus, putting it in my face my whole life. I was going to fight him in front of everybody. And even if I lost against Jesus, I don't care. He'd probably lose to me on purpose. That's the kind of guy Jesus is, I found out. He'd lose to me on purpose in front of everybody. Jesus would lose to me. He would. I swear. He would let me beat him up. He would, But he's the best, But he'd still let me beat him up. You know what I'm saying? He would. But the assassins are a different ballgame. You know what I'm saying? It's real combat. Like Mortal Kombat. That's what we like. We like face-to-face, physical Mortal Kombat. That's why I provoke them to come out from behind their screens, behind their hiding places. I provoke them to come out of there till they're face-to-face with me in real life. You know what I'm saying? One-on-one. But they never fight one-on-one. But when I'm face-to-face with them, that's the goal. Screw all this technology nonsense. I'm smoking you out. I'm smoking them out, and it's worked so far. I'm smoking them out until they're face-to-face with me. So we can fight. So we can fight. The law. Johnny fought the law, and the law won the first time, but maybe not the next time. Maybe Johnny will win the fight the next time in the streets, and everyone will be like he's beating up the police and winning. That's right. That's right. If you watch The Dark Knight Rises, Bane beats up the police at the end, and he's beating them good. Don't you forget it. We're not to that point yet, but we're getting there. Yeah. Because we're past the point of, like, there's laws don't apply to us anymore. We declared our independence from the USA. We made the document. All laws don't apply to us anymore. We're fighting insurrection. You know what I'm saying? It's war. It really is. It's no joking matter. You know, headed by yours truly. You know what I mean? I got nothing to lose anyway. They're trying to destroy my life. It's war. You know what I'm saying? The Wolverine hair. It's war. Anyways. War. Who? Ha! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Whoa! You know that song that Jackie Chan sings in Rush Hour? War! Who? Ha! What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. That's what they think. I think war can accomplish a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's better than just letting them do whatever they want to us. You know, we were like, oh, the government will shoot us if we speak out. You know, screw that. We're speaking out. Because there's a great line from a show. Living in fear is not my idea of living. And we've been living in fear for way too long from this U.S. government, from the police. We've been living in fear way too long of what they can do to us, which they can't do a lot. If you speak out, stand up for them. Stand up for a kid that was murdered by police. If you speak up, they can do a lot to you. You know what I mean? They can't. But we're tired of living in fear. At least I am. So I'm going full force. Full force until I'm beating Donald in the streets in front of everybody as he talks about Bitcoin. As he's talking about Bitcoin, I'm punching him in the face. Bitcoin, Bitcoin is so great. You just don't get the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's so great. That's the fight. Johnny against the Donald. Him talking about Bitcoin nonsense while I'm punching him in the face. Don't you forget it. The Bane fight's dirty. Fist to fist. Fist to face. That's how I fight. Don't you forget it. He's got no weapons on him. These are my weapons. You know, like the Wolverine. His claws were his weapons. Same here. Same here. You know what I'm saying? I don't need outside weapons like a pussy. You know, like the U.S. military needs outside weapons like guns. It's not me, you know. These are my weapons. You know, the gunfight. Bringing my guns to the gunfight. Those are my guns. That's what I bring to the gunfight. That's all I need. If you need more than that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to overcompensate for something that might be little on your body. I'm sorry you do, but not Johnny. So that's all I have to say for this video. Don't judge, Christians. Don't hate. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get ready. And that's all I'll say for this video.